So I think we're going to go ahead and get started. We've got 5 great panelists from 5 countries, and we have 10 questions, and then we'll have time for question and answers at the end. So first, what I'd like to do is have each of the panelists raise their hand and introduce yourself. Tell everyone your name, the country you're from, and how long you've been at Pierce College, please. And Yaya, I'd like you to, Jinya, who also goes by Yaya, I'd like you to start, please. Make sure you unmute.
Okay, thank you, everyone. My name is Jinya Jiang, and I go by Yaya. I come from China, and I've been here for two years at Pierce. So I will graduate in spring quarter next year.
Thank you. Okay, Slava, would you go next, please?
Hey everyone, I'm Slava, and I also an international student at Pierce College. I've been here for 2 quarters already, and I come from Russia.
Thank you. So Lucy was so nice. She stepped in at the very last minute when we had a cancellation. Lucy, would you introduce yourself, please?
Hi everyone, my name is Lucy. I've been here for 9 months, and I'm from Kenya.
Thank you. And then next we have Joy, who is joining us from Korea right now.
Hi everyone, this is Han Kim and I go by Joy. And I'm from South Korea and I've been at Pierce College for about 2 years.
Perfect. Thank you. And then now we have, last but not least, we have Beatrix.
Hi everyone, my name is Beatrix. I'm international student from Indonesia. I've been here since 2017.
Yes, thank you everyone. So we'll go ahead and get started with the questions. And we're going to start, number 1 will be Slava. He'll be answering the first question. And then we're gonna go in order. The students know the order, so that's great. Slava, we'd like to hear from you about your experiences with COVID-19. Let's start by asking where you are currently living. Are you in the US or are you in your country?
I'm currently in the US and studying here online, taking classes in Canvas. So, but yeah, basically the Canvas experience, it's really new for me. I'm really fresh. I just landed here like in the beginning of this year. So that was really new, and that's great. American College Online. I mean, actually, it's not really great. It would be in real life, but it's okay. It's fine. I like it. I like it though. Yeah.
But you actually had your travel plans changed because of COVID because you couldn't go home. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's also right. Yeah, I was gonna go to Russia, but then I stayed because I couldn't fly. You know, everything was canceled, and I stayed and applied for Pierce College after AF Seattle language school.
Yeah.
That's
perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Lucy, would you answer the question, please? Do you want me to repeat it? Basically, if you just tell us about your experiences with COVID and then tell us right where you are right now in the US or in your country.
I'm currently living in the US. For me, at first it was hard because when I tried to come here in March, like there was so many complications with my flights and everything. My flights got canceled like thrice. Yeah, but I'm glad I'm here. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so Joy, would you go next, please?
Yeah, I'm currently staying in my country, South Korea.
And how did that change from when COVID started? If COVID had not happened, would you be in the US right now?
Yes. Yeah, I would love to stay in the United States.
So why did you have to go home? Why did you choose to go home then?
Because like I came home in April, and at the time the number of confirmed cases in Korea was decreasing and the US was actually on the rise. So my family was too worried about that. Yes, so I came back.
Thank you. Okay, Beatrix.
I'm currently living in US, Lakewood, Washington.
And did your plans change at all when COVID hit? Or were you always planning to stay here in the US?
Could you repeat again, Mary?
Yes. Were you always if COVID had not happened, would you have always just stayed in the US anyway to study?
Probably will go back to my country for a month or something like that.
So
Yeah.
your vacation plans got canceled because of COVID.
Yeah.
That's too bad. I'm sorry. And then, so Jinya, would you respond to the question, please?
Yes, I'm currently living with my host family. And I was supposed to go back to China like in the summer vacation for like 2 or 3 months. But like when the COVID hits and it's hard for me to buy the tickets and I don't know if I would come back or not. So I would rather just stay here. So I took the online summer classes and like stay here all the time. Like I didn't go back home.
Thank you. Okay, and I'm going to have Joy start the next question, which is perfect segue. Have you traveled abroad since COVID started? And tell us about your travel experience.
Yeah, since COVID started, I came back home from the US and ESA, and during the travel, it was the scariest thing to go to the airport, but it was okay because there were not as many people as I thought, and the seat next to me was empty on the plane, and yeah, so it was okay. And then when I arrived in Korea, I had to go through too many steps of quarantine, but I was able to come safely.
Thank you. I messed up the order a little bit, so I'm going to have Lucy go next and then Beatrix this time.
So when COVID started, it actually started when I was supposed to come here. So I had some issues with my flights, but yeah, I haven't traveled since other than coming here.
Did you have any experiences at the airport that were unusual, either in your country or in the US?
Yes, actually the airports were really empty and the time we kept on being told to sanitize our hands. It was really scary. Yeah.
Were you afraid at all?
Yeah, I was.
I imagine. Okay, so sorry, I had to skip around. So Beatrix, would you go next on that question, please?
Okay. Travel. I have never
You haven't
outside
traveled.
you.
Perfect. Okay. And so then we, Yaya, did you answer? You wanted to travel, but you couldn't travel, right?
Yeah, actually my parents wanted me to travel and like they wanted to buy the tickets and whatever. And like I was thinking about going back home, but like my job as the student government like um had me to like work in within the states, so I couldn't like go back and take like online classes there. Like I had to work also, but like I have many of my friends had to go back to China, so like they had like to test it for negative and before going to the airplane and have all of the stuff like mask, gloves, like the clothes, and going back there they had to quarantine for like 14 days. Yeah, so it's like a pretty like yeah,
Tough
it's
requirement.
pretty
Yeah,
tough. Yeah.
Yeah, what about you, Slava? You mentioned you couldn't travel.
Yeah, but maybe I want to, but I haven't traveled yet. So I don't have any experience, but I like to travel all around the United States because I can. I mean, if I traveled, I would have to renew my visa in Russia, fly to Moscow, you know, about all this quarantines and everywhere. So I just don't like it, and I stay here and I live here and just enjoy my life. I mean, try to enjoy it.
That's great. Thank you. So I'm going to start again with Joy just to get us back on track. But the next question is, do you see a difference in how the United States is managing COVID than it's managed in your country? And what is the status? This is a multiple part question. What is the status of COVID in your country now? And do you think your cultural background played a role in how you handled COVID? So Joy, if you could start, please.
Yeah. I only know indirectly how the United States has actually been doing since I came back to Korea, but like However, it is still not easy to make a decision on going back to the US after hearing that there are a lot of confirmed numbers and people walking around without masks. And how the Korean government is managing COVID is that the Korean government issues step-by-step guidelines based on the changes in the number of confirmed cases. And people follow the guidelines pretty well, and wearing masks has become routine, and people who don't wear masks are fined. But even before implementing the policy, people have been strict about wearing masks. And anyone with symptoms can test, and the results come out in a few hours. Also, Korea is conducting epidemiological surveys with various technologies. For example, no matter which store we go to, we use QR codes to record our visits. And when confirmed cases occur, the government contacts those who visited there for testing. So many people might think that this method is an invasion of privacy, but Korean people hope that public health will be more protected than privacy in the face of this pandemic. So this is probably a characteristic of Korea, which consists of a single culture. In the face of national importance, people often unite in one mind.
Wow. So that is a very cultural difference. Yeah. And you got to love the technology in Korea.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joy. So Beatrix, would you go next, please? And do you need the questions?
Yes.
The questions are in the chat if you need to refer to them.
I think not difference between US and Indo in terms of they managing the COVID. But we do have like rapid tests in Indonesia, but we need to pay. Like it's not expensive though. Some people that have insurance, they can get tested like for free, but they need to. But our government also is like funding them, like most people that they got impacted by COVID. Yeah. As the status Indonesia, as I did the research, is pretty high, like it's level 3 right now. So yeah, people are not allowed to go to Indonesia. I mean, like not for like vacation, something like that. As for cultural background, yeah, I think the way I manage the COVID, like I always drink like herb, like we have like turmeric drink from like many people in Indonesia make that. Like they always use turmeric in every food they make. Some people do that. Also, I think turmeric is good for our immune system. So since I was a child, like my parents always gave me the turmeric drink. Yeah, they said it is to cope with the COVID, like to fight against COVID, you need to drink this turmeric. I think it's, yeah, I just follow them, and yeah, I'm still survived until now.
Thank you. Okay, Yaya, would you like to answer the question next?
Yeah, sure. So right now, like China, so the total cases is like 90,000, and right now we have like only like 500 cases. So I mean it's like pretty low, and like all my friends are going to like actual universities, so to take like in-person classes. So so this is the current state in China. So at first we had a lockdown in the city to protect the serious like cases, and also the policemen, doctors, and like the community leaders are trying, like we're trying to work hard to keep the cases down. And also we the government also funded the payment a lot, so that even people who can't, like who couldn't pay for the fee for the virus, for the treatment, they can still like go to the hospital to get the treatment. We also have like the QR code to check of the people, and if like one person has the virus, then I think the police will have to like check when and where the person went to and see if there's other like cases around him. Also, like in Chinese, we have a saying goes like, when trouble occurs at one spot, help comes from all corners. So we gather all the help from all of the provinces, and then we contribute to like all of the help to help people go through the difficulties. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Slava, would you go next, please?
Yes. So what about Russia? I think it's basically the same as in America. We have same rules, or like 6 feet and everything. But I think one thing that is different, that people like in Russia or the immigrants that I met along the way here, they think that masks don't help, and they usually don't wear them. So I mean, I don't appreciate it. But if you see a person, a guy, like they don't wear a mask, they might be Russian. That's what I want to say. But all the countries that you guys are talking about, you're great. You're really dealing with it. You're awesome.
And the numbers show, right? Thank you. Lucy, would you go next, please?
Yes, I think in my country it's more similar to Russia. Most people aren't wearing masks and all that stuff. At first, they had gone on lockdown, which helped. Then they went back to doing things normal, going to clubs and going to school. So the cases have really risen. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to go to the next question. Has your family been affected by COVID? We're going to start this with Beatrix. Has your family been affected by COVID? Has COVID affected their financial situation? And has this affected your ability to pay your tuition and living expenses?
Luckily, none of my family get COVID, but financial situation. Surely this time is hard for me because my parents only send like little amount, a lot, the financial.
Whoops, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. I think what we last heard is that your parents send a little bit of money, and then what did you say after that?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I said that this time is hard for me because my parents only send little amount of money.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, and so then we're going to go to Jinya. Can you answer the question, please? Whoops.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, luckily enough, my family members have tested positive for the COVID. But I mean, for the financial situation, like more or less, it affected like the income. But I don't think it's that much. But of course, um, the income is like kind of like less compared to the normal situations. Um, for the tuition and um, the living expenses, I mean, I think they have prepared my like all of the expenses for like 2 or 3 years. So um, it's like in the bank. So it's not that much affection.
It hasn't affected you much. Okay, yeah. And
Yeah.
just so everyone knows, the CARES Act funding that goes out to students at Pierce College and throughout the US, our international students do not qualify for that. So that has been a little bit of an obstacle. We did have a generous donor create a fund for emergency grants, but other than that, they're not able to get any government funding. So Slava, would you answer the question, please?
Yeah, yeah. My family's has been affected, I guess, but not like as much as it would. Just maybe just a little. But of course, for everyone, that's kind of you got affected by it. But and also yeah. I pay out of my pocket as my parents are helping me, and that became a little harder. And also, I can't work now because of COVID, or maybe I can work online, but I'm trying to find any ways and applying for the job opening at the college. Um, and also, yeah, I don't know what else. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you just told us like about the something grant? So that's the only grant that we have, or we have anything for us international students?
We just have the one that was just created. It's a smaller fund, but we had an emergency grant that students could apply for with a maximum of $500. And sometimes, yeah, there were students who have asked for $7,000. So it helps a little bit, but it's
okay. I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so, Lucy, would you answer the question, please?
So, luckily, no one in my family has tested positive for COVID, but it has really affected my parents because they used to work for the tourism company. And now, because of COVID, not many people are traveling. So, business went down, and yeah, it's really affecting them on paying my school fees.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Joy?
Yeah, my family's financial situation was not greatly affected by COVID. Rather, I was able to save on living expenses in the US by staying in Korea and get a part-time job. And also, the government provided various subsidies for each family. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's nice. And then this will be a quick question because some of you have already addressed it, but do any of the panelists know anyone who's tested positive for COVID either in the United States or in your home country? And we're going to start that off with Yaya.
I talk about US first. So I know like it's not the person I know, but like the person that I've heard of that got COVID. So it's probably my friends, co-workers, or workers. Like they got like the COVID, and yeah, like my friends are like kind of freak out because like they don't know if they got it or not. Yeah, basically it's the co-workers.
Okay, thank you. Slava, do you know anyone?
I think my older brother got COVID in Russia.
Because,
yeah, because he's a doctor and he like works with the COVID and maybe he got it. I don't know how.
But he's okay now.
Yeah, it's been like 3 weeks already. It's been 3 weeks.
Okay, good. Thank you. What about you, Lucy?
Yes, actually, my aunt who's a nurse got COVID, but she got better.
Oh, good. Joy, do you know anyone?
Fortunately, no one has tested positive for COVID.
Perfect. And Beatrix?
Yes, my she's in the US and she died because of COVID.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Also, one of also positive, but he got healed already. Yeah.
Oh, good. Good. Thank you. Okay, so the next question is going to be started by Slava. How have you been spending your time? And have you taken up any new hobbies?
I was spending time pretty good. Thank God I met some good people, and we would travel like as a group of people to mountains or to waterfalls. These days, that's pretty good. That's actually like incredible when you go out after sitting on your chair. That's just incredible feeling. And yeah, and hobbies. Maybe I started learning something online. Online courses is a great idea. To learn something on YouTube or other platforms.
Okay, great. Thank you. Lucy, What about you? How have you been spending your time, and have you come up with any new hobbies?
Most of the time I've been at home, but 1 or 2 days we'd go out for hiking and going to the park. I actually discovered that I'm really good in playing football. I didn't know that till we went to the park, and yeah.
Oh, perfect. So there are some good things that happen through this, right? Joy,
Yeah.
what about you?
This quarter, I'm taking the most interesting and difficult classes I have taken. So I spend my time studying a little more self-directed, not studying only for like assignment or exams. And I'm doing a math and writing tutor for my cousin and some students who are preparing for Korean SAT. It's kind of volunteer work.
Okay, great. Thank you. Beatrix, what about you?
I haven't taken up any this year, but more practice more my hobby. I like to draw, I like to write, knitting, cooking. These all hobbies that I did during to start to and share my experience with them. Even I help mentoring someone else during this pandemic. I'm thinking to create my own website and adding more contents on YouTube. Currently, most of time at home, I dance, sing as well. Yeah.
Yeah, anyone who saw the fashion show, excuse me, the talent show yesterday got to experience Beatrix's beautiful voice. And then Yaya, would you answer the question, please?
Yeah. This quarter I'm taking like
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry, I messed up because you already answered the question about COVID. The next question is, since Pierce transitioned to online learning, what has been...
Wait, sorry, I didn't answer that question. The hobbies question.
Oh, the hobbies. Okay, sorry. That's my fault. Go ahead.
So I'm just taking online classes and also balancing my job as a government and the classes. So basically sitting on the before the computer like all day long. Also doing like assignments and watch many MOOC classes. That's been pretty helpful for my classes. Also for my hobbies, earlier in the season, I started like exercising, like running before my house. It's like a small parking lot, and there's nobody there. So I started like running there for like 2 miles every day. But like since the weather becomes like windy and rainy, so I stopped doing that. But I mean, I still like exercise a lot like at my home. I also bought a like yoga mat to
Oh,
just
that's
kind of keep up the keep up making the body healthy.
good.
And yeah, also I developed some like interesting hobbies, like it's pretty interesting,
Like what?
like start learning a new language and like try to learn how to do the pen spinning and like just like little like interesting stuff.
Oh, good. So you made the best of your time. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, right.
Okay, so let's see. We're going to go to the next question. I'm going to have Lucy start. Since Pierce transitioned to online learning, what has been your biggest challenge with online courses? And what has been your biggest accomplishment? Also, what are you looking most forward to when we return to campus?
The biggest challenge that I've had is being able to manage all my classes, especially when I had the math class. It's really difficult for you to learn like calculus just online without seeing the teacher and everything. But thank God for YouTube, it has some tutorials. My biggest achievement is I've been able to improve on my writing. Yeah. I wouldn't yeah, writing, it has been good. And what was the last question?
What are you looking most forward to when we're back on campus?
Oh, to seeing other students and to meeting all of you guys. Yeah, seeing you on the computers and that fun, like interacting with you personally.
Yeah, you know, a lot of these students have arrived since COVID started, and here they are from other countries. We've never even met them in person. So it's been a challenge. We got to know each other through Zoom only. Um, thank you, Lucy. And we'll go next to Joy.
Yeah, I feel like I have a lot more assignments, and the reason why I feel that way is probably that I can't get help right away when I have questions about the classes stuff. But I know that the professors are trying to answer as soon as possible, and although it's not as fast as it is when I actually in classroom, I get replies really fast. And I am most looking forward to meeting professors when I'm back on campus. I'm a little sad that I've never actually met the professor, so I hope there are more opportunities to meet and communicate with them.
That's great. And I'll bet there's a little bit of an extra challenge because your time is different in Korea. And
Yeah.
so night is day and day is night. So the answers
Yeah.
a little bit slower than you expect since you're so far ahead of us hour-wise. Okay, Beatrix, would you respond, please?
Okay, the biggest challenge that I got is there are so many assignments within a week, and the due date is close between one another. My biggest accomplishment is I could manage my time between that and still having time for myself and developing my hobbies. What I'm most looking forward when I'm back to campus is to meet international education and friends, of course, and say hi, even take picture if we could.
Oh, yeah.
Like we say, like we did it. Yeah, I really miss the moment when I greet everyone on international office.
Yeah, that would be great. We should have like a big poster background that says we combated COVID in one, right? Thank you, Beatrix. And what about Yaya?
So personally speaking, I think the biggest challenges are the communication problems and the distraction from like everything. So like for the communication, it's like pretty hard for us to communicate with like friends, classmates, professors, advisors. So we had like lack of information, or just it took us like more time to get like the same amount of information. So I think it's pretty hard. And also for the distraction, like living at home and you don't have to like go out to you don't have to spend time on the road to the school or whatever. It just like to class time, but also you have to like fight for the distraction from the bed, from like the like computers or whatever. It's just kind of hard, so you have to like concentrate on the thing. You have to like have a specific like time plot for like doing the assignments. You have to like follow the daily routines that you usually followed. So and also like dealing with yourself, like just being kind like alone, it's a also a like key question that you have to deal with. So like you didn't spend so much time with others, like you don't like speaking with friends like so much. So most of the time you have to like deal with yourself like alone, whatever like classes or just like mental health, but you have to like go through this by yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, you can turn to your friends for help, but like for some things you still have to like go through by yourself. So
Not
these are the biggest questions. And
what are you
I'm
most
looking.
looking forward to? Uh-huh.
Wait, sorry, what's the question?
I'm sorry, I was just gonna say, what are you most looking forward to when we come back to campus?
Uh, campus, just seeing each other and like um have just like making friends and just to have the social interactions. And also I want like before I graduate I want to have a like last in person like classes before just graduation. So I really wanted to like have in person classes in the spring quarter.
We
Yeah,
all
at
do, I
least.
think. I think raise your hand if you agree. I think we all want classes back on campus. That's great.
Yeah, right.
Slava, what about you?
So it's been my second quarter already, and I even haven't been to the campus, the actual campus yet. So I can't really compare what it's like to study on in person and online. But for me, it's there's no actual interactions, no actual explanations, just YouTube or some words. You know, like you have to just read it and do the homework. So, um, biggest accomplishment would be that I took English 101 and passed it with a good grade, and everything is all right with that. I don't have to take no more English. So, and what I'm looking for when we be back on campus, um, I don't know, just for the interaction, just to be in the classroom, be surrounded by the classmates, speak to the teacher directly. You know, it's fun. I like it.
Meet your advisors, right?
Yeah, me, y'all, advisors. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
thank you.
great. Okay, last question I have before we have Q&A, and that is, we're going to start this off with Joy. What is one way that you are taking care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, or socially during COVID?
Um, Actually, I'm reading a lot of books these days. I'm reading books related to the idea that the world is changing so much because of COVID-19. So reading such a book, I'm relieving the frustration of the future that I don't know when I will be able to go back to the US and take classes in the classroom. So I don't think that I will change my plans for the next few years, like studying in the US, but I have been able to get an idea of how to plan for the future in a big way for reading books. And I'm doing yoga as well.
Oh, good. Great. Thank you. Beatrix?
I do meditation. I go to temple since temple has not a lot of people. Also, I read a book about self-development, and it helps me to understand myself more. Also, as I mentioned before, I talk to new people and try to connect with them. Then I became good friends with them. If I get bored, I go outside, go to park, and then find inspiration for my writing.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yaya, what about you?
So me personally, so the pandemic like I think the most like rewarding thing for me is that I personally seek for the like love and like support, like those kind of things, instead of just like seeking for the grades. So like in the past, I'm like more of the person that like um looks for higher grades, like higher like educational or career things. But now I'm like looking more into the like love, like how to support each other and like hold all of our hands and go through the difficulties. So like little like love things and warm hearting things like in our daily life. So like this is the biggest like turn point that like how I view the words and like start thinking about the question like who am I and who I really wanted to be. So I think this is a really big change in myself to just to see how the word functions and how I wanna like be part of the word and like make change. And for the hobbies, for the um the physical or mental change. I, as I said, I started running and take care of myself, and I also like um try to communicate with my family and friends as as many as possible, and also just start taking care of myself and our like the person that we care about. So
That's
because
beautiful.
like life matters the most. Yeah.
Thank you, Yaya. See what great students we have. um, so Slava, what about you?
Um, uh,
How are you taking care of yourself?
yeah, I would say for personally for me, I like YouTube, and I started recording my life for my friends or parents in Russia.
Mm,
So like it just feels better, you know. You just record, you talk to the camera, you don't feel so like lonely or anything or something like that. So, and yeah, you make some you edit the video, you spend your time very productive, so you send them to them, they watch it, and when you talk to your parents, you can discuss it together and have fun, you know.
yeah,
That's
thank
what I
you.
like.
Yeah, you've also mentioned to me when we've met during Zoom meetings that you have a pretty strong church group of friends now that you
Oh
met
yeah,
through COVID,
yeah,
right?
that was yeah. People at church. Yeah, I mean, I have nobody in America like who would be like with me. So they're really nice guys, and I really appreciate it.
So that's helped you too, I think,
Yeah.
maybe.
Hmm.
Good. So Lucy, what about you?
Basically, I've just been playing a lot of sports. I'm an outdoor person, so I don't like staying in the house too much because I feel like I'll get sick. So I usually just go outside, play some games with my friends, or cook. Yeah, basically that, and check on my friends. Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you. This is the end of our formal questions. And one thing I didn't mention when everybody joined is we hope it's okay if we are recording this because some people were not able to attend now, and we'd like to be able to send it out. If anyone has any problem with that, then if you could just email me from the email link that I gave you and let me know that you prefer not to, that would be great. If I don't hear from anybody by tonight, we'll go ahead and send the link to people who are requesting it, who couldn't attend. So now we're going to open it up to Q&As, question and answers. We also have not just our panelists, but we've got several other international students in the crowd from different countries who have joined us, and they were here for backup. So we have Mandy. Mandy, are you still here from Laos? Yeah. So if you could answer, ask questions to Mandy, or who else is here? Shannon, do you see?
Stella's been also putting some comments in, but she's
yeah.
also here. And then there's Rebecca.
Oh, good.
So
yeah,
yeah,
and Naoya from
Yep.
Japan.
yeah.
So,
Esther.
oh, Esther, perfect. So does anyone in the audience have questions for the international students? You can tell us if you want the whole group to answer them or if you have an individual question for any of the students. International students can ask other international students too, if you'd like.
I was going to ask, I'll just give you my background. I teach the ESL in the immigrants and refugees in the Puyallup campus. So I was just curious, as particularly for the people who are new here, you've got a couple people who just came over during the whole nightmare scenario, and what a year that you are experiencing here in the United States. You're really a part of our history now. I was curious about the cultural aspect. The people that have really just been here this year, how are you experiencing American culture at this time?
Great question. Lucy, do you want to start and then we can just go in that order again?
Sorry. Yeah, that's fine. I could start. So the American culture is very, very different from where I come from. Yeah. We could give an example on like um, I don't know what I can give an example on specifically. Yes, but it's really different from my culture.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to experience American culture since you really can't go any places? Have you had a chance to go out and see anything that is different than just the way things look?
I haven't been able to go anywhere yet.
Oh, that's too bad. Okay. And then I'll let some of the others on the panel have not, don't fit into this category, but Slava does. Slava, you came during the pandemic. What are you thinking about the American culture?
I think generally without COVID or maybe with COVID, it's just, and you as an American, you are guys American. You can agree with me that people are fake in America sometimes. You know, they can smile, but they're fake. You know, or yeah, that's what I'm aware of.
Okay.
And
Rebecca?
also, it's pretty hard to make friends.
Yeah.
Like, you know, even if you're moving to another state, that's a huge problem if you're American. Yeah.
Yeah. Rebecca, would you mind answering? Because you're someone who arrived here during the pandemic. Just this is your first quarter. Would you answer the question, please?
Yeah, sure. So I haven't really been to many places yet, but just living with my host family, I think I'm kind of like experiencing American culture. And also I think I'm lucky that I can experience this whole election thing. I think that's kind of crazy and different. So yeah, that's it.
That's really true. Yeah, it has a life of its own. And Rebecca, would you tell everyone where you're from, please?
Oh, I'm from Taiwan.
Thank you. Any other international students who just came during the pandemic?
Stella.
Oh, Stella. She goes by Margaret or Stella. Margaret, would you let us know your thoughts?
Hello, everyone. Just like how I put it in the chat, American culture has been a shocker to me since, first of all, the English is so different. Coming from a place where I was taught in British English, I would say some words like how American truck, how people say truck, the trucks that, you know, that are on the roads, like the word truck in my country is totally different. We say lorry, which is so different. So there was a day I told my friend, I just saw a lorry pass by and she was so surprised. I was saying something different, but I meant a truck. And she told me, what are you saying? And I just had to explain because I knew what it meant in American English. So all I did was to say, I saw a truck, not a lorry. I'm sorry. So, obviously, the American English is different, a little bit different from the accent, but some people are nice. But I had this one encounter with my neighbor. So there was this one day I went taking out trash and I met my neighbor whom I've never talked to in a while. And I said, hello. Apparently, people are not that friendly here. So she just looked at me and she wondered, why is this strange girl saying hi? And it's in the morning. People don't do that. You don't talk to your neighbors for some reason. So I think she was so shocked that I was being more friendly than she is. And that's how my culture is. We Kenyans are very friendly people, and we like saying hello, habari, jambo. So I think it was also a shocker to her having a neighbor like her, and she thinks that I am totally different, and I'm come here saying good morning, and she's not used to that. Then she feels that I'm different, and she was even laughing. But I think I made an impact to her, and she started smiling that day. So I think I made her day great. So apart from that, I think America has been wonderful.
Wonderful. I wish you'd I wish you'd move to my neighborhood. I would love to have you say hello to me in a cheery voice.
Yeah, you can invite me. I'd like to meet so many people. I'm always stuck in the house almost 24/7.
Oh, that's great. Are there any other questions?
I got a question. My name is Connor. I work at the Writing Center. My question is, have you felt academically supported by the college? And if so, how? And if not, what specific supports do you wish you had?
Great question. Who wants to start? I'm just going to throw it out there. Whoever wants to answer it.
Me. Yeah, I think like the price didn't change at all. Like you pay the same price, and I pay for insurance as well, even though I don't go out. So I don't know. That's just one thing. I pay everything out of my pocket personally, and it's not really good for me. Thank
But
you.
Slava, I think Connor's interested in what kind of academic support that you
okay.
feel like you're either getting or you're missing by being online.
Yeah, just like interaction, just interaction. Just it literally, from my class, many Americans dropped out because they don't want to watch 2010 YouTube videos for social media. So that's what they did, and I don't know. And maybe it's true. Maybe
Have you needed help and not been able to get it, or do you feel like if you need help with any academic support, do you know where to go to get that support, and have you felt supported?
Oh yeah, of course. Like yeah, I know everything. Right? I mean how to get help. Yeah, because they told us where to get it. But everything is fine. But just besides this just like 2010 videos about social media, it doesn't really work now, especially with COVID-19. Like who would watch it? Who would spend their time on it? I don't know.
Yeah, you've expressed some frustration with me about having videos be shown a lot as part of the instruction. I know you've had a little bit of a hard time. Seems like you've adjusted a little bit, but I know it's been hard for everybody and the professors as well. Anyone else like to answer that?
So I like to share my experience. So for me, I like to, so if I encounter some like problems from my assignments, I would rather like just Google and look at some like great MOOC classes, because like I just feel like if I couldn't talk to the professor, or like it would like spend me like several minutes to write a letter, to write an email, or like set up the whatever Zoom link. If I would have that time, I could also solve the problem by myself. So like I just would rather just Google it and solve the problem by myself instead of like, but if it's like online classes, I could just ask the professors like directly, so that I don't have like had to spend like other extra time. But it's just me personally speaking. So, but I know like I was also a tutor, so I know like how could I turn to help, and I also like helped others, so I know like the resources that the college had. But yeah, I just probably not made good use of it during the pandemic time.
Thank you. Yeah, we are getting to be 5 o'clock, and I'm going to keep the room open for as long as anyone wants to be here to ask questions. And students, if you want to stay, you're welcome to stay, or it's 5 o'clock and you're welcome to go anytime you'd like. And officially we're wrapped up, but you're welcome to stay. Thank you everyone for coming. That was a great showing. And thank you to the students.
Thank you, Mary.
Great job. Oh, Nelia.
Hi.
Nice to hear you.
Mm-hmm.
And we also want to remind you guys quickly too that there's T3 tomorrow that's hosted by the Center for Global Scholars, which is also CGS, which is our residence hall. They're going to do a virtual tour of the building along with questions and answers. We actually have residents living there right now during this pandemic, so you'll get a chance to hear about their experiences of living there. And then on Friday, we are doing an international film discussion, and there's been information in the emails that have been sent out. There's Nairobi Half-Life, and one of our Kenyan students, Alan, who was on here at one point. I don't think he's here now. I don't know. I don't see his name in the participant list. He'll be joining us and kind of with the discussion, and other international students will be there as well to give recommendations of films from their home countries. And we'd like for you to join in on that discussion as well with us if you're available. We appreciate you guys all joining and celebrating with us with International Week this week.
Yep.
And thank you, everyone. Anyone have more questions?
No.
I have a really quick question for Lucy. Nalia, did you have something? Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Nalia, do you want to?
Go ahead, Nalia.
I defer to you. Go ahead, Nalia.
No problem. I'm nothing.
Okay.
We miss you, Nalia.
Me too.
I just have a quick question for Lucy. Lucy, you said that you went to the park and discovered that you like to play football. And I wanted to know, do you mean American football, or do you mean soccer, or what the rest of the world calls football? Back to that English problem.
I meant soccer.
Okay,
Sorry.
good. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. That's what I thought. But I, just in case, I thought it would be fun to know if you picked up, the American football. Thank you.
There's still time, Lucy.
There is still time.
Anyone else?
I had something I wanted to say really quickly. Hi, it's for the Kenyan ladies. I was laughing because I'm from Kenya as well, and I used to say boot all the time. And people are like, "Oh, can you open the boot?" He's like, "What's the boot?" And that's the trunk. So yeah, I relate to the Lori story. So thank you for sharing.
I love it. How can they meet you when campus is open? You work at Pierce College?
With the college access course, I'll hopefully be there until, if we go back. But yeah, I can email you my contact.
Oh, that's great. And what campus are you on?
The Port Steelicum.
Okay, that would be so great for the students to meet you. Wonderful. Thank you.
I want to share a funny experience that I encountered. So it's about a slang popcorn. So did anyone know the meaning of popcorn?
You mean as far as Zoom goes?
Yeah, so if I popcorn to Mary, so it's Mary's turn to answer the questions. So so it's in the student government meeting. So there are some questions and we have to answer them. So firstly, it's probably let the president answer the questions, and she would like to say, I popcorn to to answer this question. So at that time, I didn't know what's the meaning of popcorn. So I feel like it's the popcorn that we ate, but I searched it online. It only showed up as popcorn, not popcorn as slangs. And I also asked my host family, they didn't know either. So then I turned to my teammates, and then she explained that to me. And also during the meeting, I although I didn't know what that means, I still use it because it's a simple phrase I popcorn too. Everybody else did that, so yeah, even though I didn't know, I mean, I can still use it. And after I said the sentence I popcorn to someone, nobody was confused. So I know I said a right sentence. So after the meeting, I turned to my teammate to ask for the phrase. So yeah, so that's a pretty interesting experience that I knew the slang popcorn.
It turned from a noun into a verb, didn't it?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, so any other questions? Erin, I saw you shaking your head and smiling a lot. Is that, can I ask where you work at Pierce?
Yeah, I'm a writing center tutor.
Oh,
yeah.
It seems like you were getting it.
Totally. I'm facilitating. I also teach preschool, so I do a lot of online teaching. So I feel like I was already expressive before and trying to make people feel listened to.
I love
So
it. You did.
I'm a nodder. I'm sorry.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It seemed like you were like really in tune with what they were saying. I just noticed that.
I want to make sure people feel comfortable. I know virtual feels kind of weird, so yeah.
Yeah, and Jana, the same with you. Where do you work?
Yeah, I'm also expressive like Erin. I also work with Erin at the Writing Center. So
Oh, that's great. And I see Julian and Kurt and Keith here, also from the Writing Center. That's so great. Who else? Is there anyone else here from the Writing Center?
Yes, I'm from the Writing Center too.
Oh, and Jade, you brought your whole crew, Keith.
Yes, I'm here also from the Writing Center.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm here too.
And me too. This is Victoria.
I'm working for Keith a little bit too.
Oh, that is great. So these are all the international support, the people that international students can go to for any writing help. We really appreciate you. You've gotten a lot of people through college.
Right.
And remember the Writing Center, you guys support students all over campus. So I always want our international students to know that. It doesn't matter if English is your first language or not. Everybody needs help writing.
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Writing Center people, do you look at our emails and correct them in your head?
No, we don't do that.
No, that is the last step of a writing tutor. No.
I'm so paranoid before I send anything out to the whole campus.
We support your voice as a writer. We uplift.
Why?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Also, one question for the Writing Center. Is it like the same process as we like register and make an appointment with you guys? About writing, like how we could like make appointment with
how to make appointments at the Writing Center?
Yeah, is it the same process?
Is it the same process as it usually is?
Previous. Yeah.
How do they get a Writing Center help if they need it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Is it okay if I just jump in here, Writing Center tutors, or
yeah?
Okay, sounds good. So to make a Writing Center appointment, we usually have you go through the Writing Center account. And so we'll have you set up an account at the Writing Center, and then you have access to all of our appointments. And you can go in and make 30-minute appointments. You can we're also doing a lot of different things this quarter. So we're available for written feedback, where you just upload your paper and somebody will get back to you and give you lots of notes on things you can do, some things that you're doing well, some things that you can keep working on. And we're also available for online meetings using the WC online platform. So it's kind of a video call, and we'll talk about your work. So we can do short appointments like 30 minutes, or we can do full hour-long appointments. And so we've been doing that all quarter, and we're doing pretty well. Are there any other questions?
Yeah. Peter posted a link in the chat about.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So if you are interested, if you want to make that account for yourself, I'd recommend going and clicking on that and then filling in all that information, and you can book appointments anytime through the rest of the quarter.
And I'm imagining, isn't it also on the Pierce College website under Student Support tab?
It certainly is, yep.
Okay.
And you know what? You don't even have to come having written something. You could just come and have a conversation with one of us too. That's perfectly all right.
That's great. Thank you so much. Does anyone have anything else? International students, you have anything else that we didn't ask that you wish we had?
Hi, I just have a quick question. How does anyone, as we know, during this time, it's hard to manage the time. So how do you guys manage your time during the online class and stuff, and with the at home? So there's a lot of stuff going on. So how do you guys manage your time?
So I'm a writing tutor, but also a student at Pierce. I'm not international, but I do have a pretty good way of managing my time. I keep like a bullet journal. It's basically like a planner, And every day at the start of each week, I kind of map out all my assignments for the week and each day and what I want to get done. And I also map out what I have to do each day. So if I have to go to a meeting for school, or if I have to go to work. So I map that out each day, and then I map out, again, what assignments I want to do. And then I just check them off when I'm done, and it helps me keep really organized and see what my workload is going to look like for the day. This is like kind of what it looks like. You see, I have these things crossed off and what I want to do each day. So that's been really great in managing my time and making sure I keep organized and that I don't go crazy trying to finish all my assignments.
Helps you look ahead too, doesn't it? Like look ahead at the upcoming tests and things like that. That's great. What a good tip. Anyone else want to respond to that? Good question, Mandy.
One thing that I do when I'm really busy is I schedule 20-minute like breaks for myself where I listen to a podcast or or watch a TV show or read for 20 minutes where I am not allowed to think about anything except that piece of media, because you need to take care of yourself too. I think that's really important. And it's important to do your best work, and I think we only do that when we take breaks. So I used to I still do, I schedule 20 minutes where I'm not allowed to do anything. Yeah. Good
tip. I just started doing that. Every weekend I block out 2 hours for myself. I can't do the 20-minute a day thing, 20-minute here and there, but for the first time in my life, and it's really helped me a lot mentally, I think. Yeah, well, all you students and everyone else, you're rock stars. I'm so impressed with you and staying engaged and staying resilient and not letting things get you down. You impress us every day, and we really, really appreciate you. And also the way they get through these times is with all the support they get. So thank you everyone else for coming and for being interested in how they're doing and their comments and their lives. It means a lot to them, and it means a lot to us too.